See it.
Down, say you down. You gotta stand up and fight. Oh, you gotta stand up. Oh, you fight.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Oh, you fight.
In person is so much more beautiful. You know that shit stuck with me.
What up? What up? What up? Welcome to the world's dopest podcast, the Marley State of Mind podcast. Down here at a Bunch of Bull Studios, as per usual, and we got a special guest for you. You're my first reoccurring guest, actually. Never had a reoccurring guest, but we got Sean Ski in the building tonight. What's up?
Twice or three times?
Twice. This is second.
Okay.
Oh, this is second time.
I feel like I was on here another time. Maybe it was for another
Probably it was probably for the bullshitting with Jesse
yeah,
joint.
yeah.
But yeah, so we got Sean Ski in the house tonight. I usually like to kick it off with an introduction as to how I came familiar with the artist or how I met the artist. This one's a little bit different, right? If you watched the last episode, you know that. But I know you for a long time since I can remember, really, right? Since the playground hooping and shit.
West Side Hill days.
West Side Hill days for sure. Shout out Frankie Molinaro. But yeah, man, glad to have you back. I had to have you back because you just got off tour with Wubby down up in Canada.
Yeah.
So we had to have you back to talk about that. And you got an upcoming show at the Hard Rock Cafe. You're headlining,
Yes, sir.
which is fire. So we want to get into some of that too as well. So welcome back, man. How you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling great. I'm just, I'm excited to keep working.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm happy with how
Pull
everything.
your mic up for me.
Oh,
I didn't even notice it was down like that. No, it's cool.
wait.
Yeah, get that cord.
There we
Yeah.
go.
I didn't even notice it was like that.
Where's it need to be at?
Close, as close to you as possible without. Yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
this.
Yep.
How's that?
Yeah, that should
Cool.
be straight. Yeah, that should be good.
Sit up here a little bit.
There you go.
There we go.
Yeah, so yeah, we had to have you back after the concerts, and the tour, and talk a little bit more about that experience and the success on the road. You know, I've seen that every show's packed out, and you and I often talk about how much of a learning experience it is being with someone like Webb, and seeing his success without actually ever being mainstream, so to speak. And every show he has is packed out, sold out, if not sold out, damn near sold out to capacity. So tell me a little
I'm
bit
sorry.
about. No, it's all good.
My
That
fault.
happens. We're shooting live, so you get live shit that happens. So tell us a little bit about that, bro. Like, this is your second time touring with Webb, right?
Yes.
Your second time in Canada. What was different about this time as opposed to the last time you were touring with Webb in Canada?
I guess for one, first off, it was in a different location. This was Eastern Canada, and the only repeat show we had was London, Ontario.
Yeah.
Which, out of all 22 shows last tour, that was my favorite show by far.
Why is that?
Was just, from the crowd for one, was just insane. I think that was the biggest crowd number wise too.
Yeah.
And the venue there is just amazing with the
Yeah.
video board and the back, the lighting, everything is just a great venue.
What's the difference you notice about like doing shows in Canada as opposed to doing shows in the state? Because it is a little bit different. It feels a little bit different, right?
Yeah, I would say kind of like Fury told me like that they don't get American artists as much, so they're really, really passionate
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Like there's an extra energy, an extra excitement from them.
Right.
So, yeah, but going back to what you said, like, what about different this time around?
Yeah, yep.
It's just, for me, it's like complete night and day for my experience. For one, of course, getting, this time I got to ride with the whole crew and everything.
Right, yeah.
Really got to talk and get a lot of game from Chris Fury and just all the guys in general.
Yeah. So,
But
hold on. Let's
go ahead.
pause there though.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Because those may not be familiar with who Chris Fury is. You should be. If you're passionate about hip hop or know about rap music or a fan, let's familiarize you a little bit with who Chris Fury is. So, who is Chris Fury? For those who may not know.
He's the man. I'm not sure what all hats he has for Webby, but he's a manager of sorts for sure. He's a veteran in the game. I mean, he's managed everyone from Nicki Minaj, the game, Ray J. Like, I mean, just
Right.
he's really had his hands in everything. I think he always says he got to start at Hot 97.
Hot 97, working
with,
for Angie Martinez. Yeah,
So,
yep.
like, he's been around and worked with pretty much anyone you could think of, the biggest of the biggest. So
Yeah. No, and I could vouch for that. Having a chance to meet Fury, he's full of knowledge and always willing to share it with whoever is willing to learn it. And I know just a short amount of time that I spent with him on tour, I learned so much. Like not even him speaking to me directly, but just being around him and
Yeah,
listening to
exactly.
him talk to other artists. Have you had that same experience with bro?
yeah, for sure. I mean, just like you said, like even when it's not me and him having face to face
Yeah,
conversations.
even when it's not directed at you. Yeah.
I'm always trying to be a sponge and pick up on everything, because he's always dropping some gems. But
Yeah.
like, luckily, most of our trip in the van.
Yeah, that's what you were saying. One of the big differences.
I was
yeah.
up front with him.
Nice.
So it's just me and him had a lot of talks about music, and I was just taking it all in, and learning, picking up what I could.
Yeah, I don't want to stray off too far from the original question of what was the difference, but while we're talking about Chris, like, what was one of the what's some of the best advice, or what was some of the most golden nuggets that he dropped on you, or that you feel like, damn, like I'm glad I was able to absorb that from him.
Man, there's so many. I would say one big thing he was telling me about is, when you're working like with a bigger featured artist,
Yeah.
which I like to do from an artistic standpoint, but also from a promotional aspect.
Right.
Just keep growing and having their fan base check me out and stuff. So he pretty much told me, which I wasn't aware of, is that when you do a song with a bigger featured artist, that on the Spotify release radar, that in the first 2 weeks you should get, I think it's 30% of their monthly listeners.
Wow.
So from that, you can do the math and figure out how much money you're going to recoup right away.
Wow.
From that feature.
From that feature, right.
So, and it lets you also know how much that artist
Is really worth. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's really something to, even when you're in those talks,
Negotiating, yeah.
Yeah.
It can give you some leverage now,
Yeah,
right? Because you have this
course.
knowledge.
Yeah.
Like, hey, man, I noticed that your streaming numbers are only this, and you're trying to charge me this. I think this is more than a fair price for compensation for your verse.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, that's dope. So you said this time around, like, getting to hang out with the guys, it was a little bit different camaraderie from traveling together.
Yeah, that I mean was incredible, of course. And then just like I said, night and day difference for me as a performer. From me before I started last tour to this time around is just,
You mean like being on stage, like your actual performance?
being on stage, like, that's not to say last year went great too. I'm really happy with how last year went. Like, as the shows went on, I kept getting better, picking up things, and it's just a constant progression. But like this time around, it's just like really.
You felt more prepared?
More prepared, for sure, and then also just like an extra excitement. Like each night, what I'm looking forward to most is hitting the stage. Not that I wasn't before, you know what I mean?
Right.
But like, there's always like you're thinking about this and that. This time I'm like locked in. I'm like hyped to hit the stage.
Yeah, you know exactly how you want to execute everything. Yeah.
Absolutely. And then, meeting with all the fans and everything afterwards, there's nothing more rewarding than that.
Did you notice this time around, being your second time in Canada, did you notice like repeat fans, like people that recognize you from your last tour?
A ton, especially the last from the London show, of course, because we were there last year.
Right.
And then this Peterborough show, because it's that we finished on, which was the best show of the tour. A lot of those people were at the Toronto show last year because it's really close.
Okay, that's dope.
So just
a lot of people came up to you like, "Oh, I remember you from last year."
and I got that gift I showed you.
That was fire.
That cup,
right,
with my logo and everything. So that was That was
So
pretty awesome.
a fan gave you a cup with your logo,
Yeah,
and wasn't a keychain
like
as well?
keychain too.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
yep.
That's fire. What was that? How did that interaction go?
Oh, that was great. I mean, I had so many just like touching moments with fans on the tour. Like, guy had me sign a photo in Waterloo of his friend that was supposed to be at the show, but who had committed suicide
Oh wow.
2 weeks prior.
Yeah.
Like just a lot of moving moments like that. Like just
Damn.
people coming up to me after and said like my song in particular, "Sail Away," like brought him to tears. Like one guy said he had just lost his mother.
Damn.
The other one's girl said she had just got out of a really abusive relationship. So just like things like that, like really, it's really touching to me because if you know the kind of music I like and the kind of music that helped me through tough times, like for me to
Have that
do that,
same
have that
impact.
same impact
Yeah.
is like that is the ultimate goal. So,
What do you think it is about that song in particular that touches fans in that way? If you had to say, just from your perspective.
I mean, for one, just the live version is so like it's just such an intimate setting, and then this time I incorporated the bar stool,
Yeah.
which is the stool, so that like kind of brought like a different vibe to it. Yeah, I mean, just the lyrics are, they're pretty deep stuff.
Yeah.
About
You might have to
things
play
I was,
"Sail Away" for the people that may
yeah,
not be familiar
oh,
with it.
yeah, check it out. I got I don't think the regular version is going to be up too much longer because I have another mixed version for the album,
Okay.
but the live version will still be up, which is what I prefer anyway. So
Yeah.
uh, yeah, check
Yeah.
that
Tell the
out.
people while we're there, tell the people how they can get a hold of you on social media as well as listen to some of your music on the streaming platforms.
Yeah, I'd say the biggest social media platform I use is still Instagram, Sean Ski Music. I'm trying to. I gotta really push to get my TikTok moving, but also my website is up and it's
Yeah.
looking great.
Yep.
SeanSkiMusic.com. So check that out. You could buy merch directly from there now. You can stay up to date on my shows and such. Also on press, whether that be local or on the national scale. So I'm really happy with how that is too. That there's one spot like people could come straight to my website
To
now
get
to
everything.
get everything that
Yeah.
they need. So
Yeah. And the website one more time.
it's SeanSkiMusic.com. Same as Instagram. Same pretty much
All across
all
the
my
board.
yeah, yep.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So you said this time around, you felt a little bit more prepared. You felt a little bit more
Yeah.
comfortable on stage. The camaraderie was different this time
Yeah,
around. Like you
of
felt like
course.
you had a better relationship. And when you're on the road with people like this and spending that much time together, it does start to become like a family of sorts, right?
Yeah,
Because you're
absolutely.
spending like a lot of time with these individuals. How was that this time around? Like you said, you didn't spend that much time with them before. Did you felt like because you were with them one time already, and now that you're in these enclosed spaces for shorter period of time, did you feel like that helped with the camaraderie?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. You mean like are you referring to like in the past? Or?
No, this time around, as opposed to in the past. Like, do you feel like that was of benefit?
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. We really got to we had a chance to talk more on a human level just outside of the
Outside of
small
music,
outside the small talk at shows and things
right?
like that. Like, it was just it was just nonstop laughter.
Right.
So like it was a good time in the sprinter the whole time. So that was really cool.
Yeah, hell yeah. And I don't want to take it for granted because, like I said before, we went on tour with Webb. I had no idea of its impact all across the board, and I certainly don't want to take that for granted because a lot of times he helped me to change my perspective on what it means to make it
Yeah, absolutely.
in music. Because once again, this is an individual who doesn't have like radio records
Yep.
or things like that, but can outsell a venue where people do have radio records. Like you and I have opened up for artists who have bigger names
Oh yeah.
that don't get nearly the
Yeah.
crowd.
Not even half the crowd he does.
So what have you taken away from that type of experience? Like in me, has it changed your idea of what it means to make it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just like if you secure that core following, you know what I mean? Like, you can have a really successful career in music.
Yeah,
It's just people have no idea about it, like, just how successful he really
Really is.
really is. Like no
Yeah.
one, like I don't know if you had the same experience, but when I was telling people last year I'm going on tour with him, a lot of people be like, I think a lot of people mentioned the song. Was it La La La?
Oh yeah, yeah,
They would mention that and be like, yeah, I used to listen to that song back in high school. I didn't know he was still really making music. You know what I
right.
mean? Like so, like people would get this idea of like probably thinking not out here with like somebody that's like filling these
Has a bigger
places up
name. Yeah,
and
yeah.
like, but man, people just have no idea. Like every single show, packed to capacity.
People are lined up out. People are lined up
All
outside.
the
Yeah.
meet and greets are sold out. All the VIPs are sold out. Everybody word for word on these songs. Like it's so inspiring.
And the thing you and I also talked about off camera was like how many new fans he has, like people that never even seen him
Yeah,
perform before.
yeah. He usually says that at each show. How many times or who
How many
here?
people have been
Yeah,
seeing me before?
who here tonight is seeing me for the first time,
Right.
and everybody like I would say probably like seems like anywhere from like 80 to 90% like or go crazy when he says
Right.
that. Like so that I mean that's crazy that he continues to grow like that, but he put in the work. He has the longevity and the foundation, and outside of Tech Nine, I don't think you can name a
Bigger independent
bigger
artist.
independent artist.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the thing. Like, what up, Perk? What's going on with you, bro? Thanks for
So
tuning in with us. And that's the thing. Like I said, it definitely changed my perspective on what it means to make it as an independent artist and what those markers are as an independent artist. Because you think you need that radio success, you think you need that big video or that big thing to for people to know that you made it. But his fan base is loyal and they come to all of
yeah,
these shows. They buy all of the merch. They're streaming the music. And you and I talked about that a little bit too, right?
yeah,
Like how some artists who are bigger or have a bigger name, like people may listen to a song or two of theirs throughout the day, but with web fans, like they're listening to them
yeah, straight, yeah,
day in and day
straight
out.
game.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. Um, trying to think something else I was gonna say along those lines.
yeah,
Um, I'll think of it.
yeah. No, all good. We can always round back to it. So, how's that changed your approach now that you've been on a road, as approaching music in general? Like, not even just from a performance standpoint, but from the way that you want to market and promote yourself, seeing the way that he's done it.
Yeah, I just think the idea is just to keep growing little by little. It's not gonna happen overnight.
Right.
Like, there's been times where I've thought to myself, like, once this album drops, like, this humongous fan base is gonna come like out of nowhere. I'm not saying it
It
can't
can't
or
happen
won't,
like that, right?
but it's just like
You don't need that to happen.
I still have the urgency, but it's not. It's like a better understanding of, just
It's a
show
grind.
after show after show. Like I think I watched a little J. Cole clip recently. He's just talking about how this is a step by step process.
It's a marathon, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It never really ends, and I'm excited just to keep putting in that work. Like, let me slowly move to this level. Just keep progressing, and
Right. Yeah, hell yeah.
get to that point where I want to be eventually.
So you did the shows in Canada. Where'd you guys start off at? What was the first?
Fredericton, I think it was
Fredericton?
Fredericton.
Yeah.
That was a cool little spot. I think from there we went to Prince Edward Island in Charlottetown. Then we went to Halifax, which was awesome. That was a great show at the Marquee Ballroom. Quake Matthews, who we toured with, is from Halifax,
Okay.
so he's an incredible artist too. Me and him actually have a song coming soon, which I'm excited about. I learned a good bit from him
Yeah.
too on tour for sure.
What type of things did you learn from Quake?
I mean, he was a heck of a performer, but just like different things about from marketing tools to just things in general.
Little nuances to
for
promoting
sure.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, he would end his set each night with a dedication song to Pat Stay, which was really cool.
Okay, that's what's up,
him
man.
and Pat were really close friends, so
Yeah, for those who don't know, Pat Stay is a battle rapper
Yeah, legendary battle
who
rapper.
was murdered a few years back, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And he's from Canada as well, right? Pat
Yeah,
Stay's from Canada.
I know he was killed in Nova Scotia. I don't know if he's from Nova Scotia.
Yeah, I'm not
I'm
sure
not.
what part of Canada he's from, but I know
Yeah,
Pat's from
yeah, but that's
from. So definitely rest in peace to Pat Stay.
absolutely.
Now, for you, now that you've toured and done a few cities now, do you have a top 5 cities list you can give us to perform in, or your top 5 cities to perform in?
Oh man. That's kind of tough. I
Go
mean,
ahead, man. You got to give it to them.
yeah, I mean,
You're gonna have to hurt their feelings.
London.
Y'all got to turn up better next time if you're not on this list.
I mean, so far, London, Ontario, still, even though of this past tour, Peterborough was the best show
Yeah.
and just most, explosive, high energy from the start. I would still say just London, Ontario as a whole. I just love everything about from the people, the fans there to the whole experience. Is that would
That's top. That's top of your list.
yeah, that would be up there for sure.
You still owe me 4 more though.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough for me to say because, a lot of these places we've been to once, so.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited to go back. Like,
Yeah.
there were so many from last tour, of course.
Yeah, for sure.
Billings, Montana, like, stands out for me.
Billings was fire.
Yeah, Billings.
Wyoming always sticks out too because
Yeah.
you know the
What?
Chris Webber merchandise.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Merchandise.
Merchandise. Yeah. Shout out Shorty that bought all that merch that
Yeah,
night.
I mean, she spent like $300 that
Yeah.
night. Like,
Yeah. That was
so,
fire. That was fire.
Yeah.
She
If-
spent.
if
Yeah.
she's
She spent
still
the
out
bread.
there somewhere.
Shout out you.
Yeah. Shout out to you,
Whatever she watched this shit.
of course.
No, that's fair. I ain't gonna put you on spot. I ain't gonna make you name all of them. So for you as a performer, what makes for a good show? Like, what do you like to see out of your audience? What makes you know, like, damn, this is a hit. This was a successful night.
Of course, crowd interaction for sure. Everything from a difference in my set this time around is I Dream of Poutine, being that I'm back up in Canada, and
What the hell?
Pretty much.
What the hell is poutine? I know what it is now, but what the hell is poutine for those
that is
that don't know?
it's
'Cause
like
I
a
didn't
really
know.
popular dish in Canada. It's fries, gravy, and cheese curds.
Yeah.
It's like really popular up there. So
Is it fire? I never had it.
oh yeah,
Is
it's incredible.
Yeah.
But I do that song each night.
How was the
acapella-
reaction to that?
acapella. Oh, it was really good.
Yeah.
I do that a cappella with just like a hand clap, and
Yeah.
that would get me started going a good bit. But just little things too, like just getting the crowd going. Like, I think I've got a lot better on that too.
Crowd control.
From last year. Yeah, just like even that's another thing I say I really improved on from last year is like sometimes when you just have one of those crowds, it's just
Not feeling it.
I
Or
wouldn't-
not giving- not
yeah,
giving you
they're
the
just
energy.
not giving
They're
it.
not
You know,
giving you the energy
yeah,
you want, yeah.
sometimes people just some people just want to come and just watch the show, and they don't have to be
A participant. Yeah.
Yeah, so but I really navigated through that a lot better this time around. Like when maybe sometimes it might not have been there from the beginning, and like really just got it out of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think of like
A situation.
just like a simple example.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it could be something simple, like make some noise in here, Halifax.
Yeah.
I said make some noise.
Yeah,
What I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
like just doubling down on it, like just
Making
really,
sure that they
Yeah.
listen. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be just something as simple as that. So,
Okay.
but yeah, just really just getting the most out of the fan interaction.
Yeah. That's what makes a good show for you.
Yeah, and the diversity of the set is really important to me too.
Yeah.
From going to straight, guitar songs, with just me and the guitar. It was Sonny, of course, Sonny on the guitar. Sonny Dumerset, who
Yeah. Shout out Sonny, man.
shout out to Sonny. He
He came through in the clutch
amazing.
on a substitute
yeah, he
because
was
Duncan Chunk couldn't make it this time
yeah,
around.
Yeah, he had a wedding, I think, in Mexico,
Yeah.
and man, Sonny was just brilliant.
Yeah. How'd you meet Sonny? I know how you met Sonny, but it's a hella cool story.
Yeah, I met him through Life Jennings, who all in all, I met through T-Rex,
Yeah.
R.I.P. T-Rex.
R.I.P. T-Rex for sure.
So met him that way, but yeah, just a diversity in my set, like from doing a song pretty much a cappella with nothing but hand claps to doing songs with just me and him on guitar to doing songs over beats. Like
Yeah.
I think a lot of people came up to me after and said that they really appreciated that.
You think
Just
those
giving
more
it-
intimate moments made
Yeah.
for a better connection with the audience?
Yeah, and then of course, I mean, the Matchbox 20 cover is just always a big smash, man.
Yeah.
I could have never imagined. Like when I decided last year like to do it, I was kind of nervous about it. Like, how's the crowd gonna react to it? And like, man, people go crazy over it.
Yeah.
And it also there's like a different element to it where you like bring them into your world a little bit, like of what you're into. Like if you don't have a common interest here, but then you have it here, it just I feel like
You feel like it makes you connect with the audience
yeah,
better
something
when they,
like about that like makes just like people open up to more to it's like, oh yeah, like I might not know his music right now, but I love
this song.
Matchbox 20.
Yeah.
So that's like gonna like that makes me like kind of like
More
him.
appealing to that.
Yeah,
More
that
appealing
makes
to
me
those-
want to
yeah.
check him out
Yeah, yeah.
because knowing that we connect on that. So that's a cool thing, and so that's kind of always gonna have a place at least for a good while in my set until it shows otherwise.
Yeah. Yeah, for
until
sure.
my catalog just gets so crazy that
You can't even
it's
fit
not
it
room
in no
for
more.
Yeah.
For sure. All right, so you did the show out in Canada. How many dates did you guys do? Or
We
how many
did-
shows did you do?
We did 9 shows.
9 shows?
Yeah, we had a day off after the first show, and then we did 6 in a row. And then we had a day off after London, which is much needed. And we got our tour tattoos like we did last year.
Yeah,
and
traditional tour tats, yeah.
that was really cool. I recorded out there. I got.
How did that come about? Recording out there out in Canada.
I think I mentioned to Fury that I wanted to record. I want to find a studio, and he just happened to have somebody
Of course,
out there
yeah.
already, so he was able to
Put it together.
hook that up. So that was exciting to lay something down out there.
Yeah. How'd that go? How was the track? Did it turn out the way you wanted it to?
Yeah, it went really, really well.
Yeah. Is this going to be on an upcoming project, or is this something different?
No, this is something different.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just give it away. It's a song I'm doing with hip hop journalist Rob Markman. If you know anything about journalists in hip hop, like
Yeah.
he's arguably one of
the
the
top.
best
Yeah.
for sure. He's incredible. He's from Rap Genius, I think that's
Yep.
where he was on MTV for a while, and he's also an amazing artist too.
Yeah, I
So,
didn't even know that prior
yeah.
to. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's the problem sometimes. Like when you get
When you start wearing
Brand-
too many hats.
yeah, and when you get branded as something right
Yeah.
away, it's like hard for people to see you in a different light.
So you're
I
saying if I want to make it as a rapper, I should stop this podcast immediately? No.
No, there's always the exceptions,
No,
but
that
but
was-
you know what I'm saying.
no, I
Like
understand what
when
you're
people see you in a certain light, because I think even initially when I started like singing some hooks, you know what I mean. People just saw me as a rapper for a while, so it like took some getting used to. But
No, that's a fair assessment because there's a lot of times even I know from my kids, like I see Ludacris on a movie and I'm like, oh, that's Ludacris the rapper.
yeah,
They see Ludacris in a movie, that's like, oh, that's that dude from Fast and
Fast and
Furious.
Furious,
Yeah,
yeah.
you know what I mean. So there is that disconnect. Or Ice Cube, you know what I mean. People
Mm-hmm.
see him from a certain generation, they're like, oh, that's Ice Cube the actor. You know what I mean. He's
Yeah.
on whatever the hell he be on. You know what I mean? And I know, that's NWA Ice Cube. So no, I definitely get what you're saying. When you get stuck in, or when you get familiar with people in a lane, they get so used to you in that they can't picture you outside of anything other than that.
100%. I think you have that a lot of times too with just like I know a lot of bands have like through the years, like when they've made like a lot of like sad music or something or
Yeah.
depressing music, when they try to go outside of that, like
Everybody rejects it.
yeah, they're like, no,
Yeah.
that's just, you'll have that.
No, yeah, for sure. That's exactly what it is. Like, whenever people get familiar with you in one lane, like
Yeah.
they're so used to you being in that lane,
Yeah.
they can't picture you outside of that. So we definitely touched on some of the Canada experience. I know you got some more we want to touch on about that. But you're a big wrestling fan, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You got what you got on a Ted DiBiase today?
Yeah, got
Million
on the
Dollar
Ted.
Man, Million Dollar Man, Ted
R.I.P.
DiBiase.
Virgil.
R.I.P. Virgil
I
for
actually met.
sure.
I bought him food one time at the Westmoreland uh, Mall food court.
That's
He
fire.
was a real good dude, man.
Yeah, yeah. Virgil was
Yeah,
that dude, man, and broke a lot of barriers too.
yeah, for sure.
Um, so I say that to transition to this. You were on tour with a lot of artists, and I know Annoyed was one of them.
Yeah.
And he likes to wrestling references. Who else? Who was all on this tour with you guys beside the Web?
It was me, Webby, Annoyed, and Quake Matthews
For
were
sure.
the four artists outside of the local openers in each city.
Right. Were you familiar with the other guys prior to touring? Annoyed and Quake Matthews.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, of course, um, Annoyed from last tour.
Mm-hmm.
I just became such a big fan of his,
Yeah.
and I just think with the right look, man, he's gonna blow up. I
Yeah.
just think he has it. He has the skill set. He has the charisma. He just it's just kind of like back when I worked with Wiz in 2008.
Right.
Like you could just kind of see like he had
Start that
something.
star potential.
Yeah, that star. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
The it factor.
And I
as they
and I
may
see
say.
that. I see that in Annoyed, and he's incredible. I was not familiar with Quake Matthews, but man, just hearing him live every night, um, and we even had like a listening session between me, him, and Rook, who does the majority of Webby videos, and he's done videos for Lil Baby, like just so
Yeah,
many.
he's done it for so many people.
Yeah,
Yeah, Kodak
shout
Black,
out to
Wiz
Rook.
Khalifa.
Yeah,
Yeah, Rook is crazy.
but we had a really great, listening session. The one night, I think it was after the studio, and we just all traded songs back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
But Quake's been at it a long time, man, and he's a really good dude too. So I'm excited next month too. I think it's pretty much going to be the same lineup for the New Hampshire and Maine shows.
Okay.
He's actually coming over from Canada for those. So
Okay, that's fire.
yeah,
Yeah, hell yeah. So you said Quake and Annoyed was with you guys as well.
yeah.
Um, did
And
you
Rook
learn?
did a little set each night too.
Rook
Yeah.
had, yeah, because Rook's also an artist as well
Yeah,
as,
and Rook got some vibey songs, man. Like
Yeah.
he's just got a certain vibe about his music that it's decent, man. I really like it.
yeah.
It's like really chill. I know you like it too. It's like almost like some smoky kind of like just.
Oh yeah,
chill,
no, I
like,
rock with Rook. Yeah, he
yeah.
got a couple bangers that I got on rotation for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. So those guys were out on the road with you guys as well. Were you able to learn anything from those gentlemen while experiencing the tour? Because Anoy's been around for a while,
Yeah.
doing his thing on a rather high scale too, right?
Yeah,
He's been
for
on the
sure.
sways and freestyles, the rap radars, and all of those things.
Yeah, he's been everywhere. I was just watching his clip recently. But he's rap. I don't know if you ever saw that clip where he's rapping outside to Funk Flex.
Mm-mm.
Like they're just out. Like it's a really cool. Like they're at. It looks like they're at like a car garage, and they're just like sitting in some like.
Might be Flex's car garage because he messes with the cars heavy.
Maybe it's
Yeah.
just like it's a real cool setting, and Anoy's just going off, just rapping his ass off like he does. And
Were you able to learn anything from
yeah,
him
but
while
yeah,
being out there?
I don't know if I'd say anything specific at the moment, but for sure, like I definitely took something from each of them.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
I mean, just as a whole, just same thing as last tour, just picking up little things that they do, others do, that you can incorporate into
Inside
set.
of your own set, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So yeah, I alluded to you being a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
You rocking the Ted DiBiase. So I was going to ask you a couple wrestling questions.
All right.
For you, who's your top 5 tag team duo?
Tag team. Wow. Man, this is good because I don't usually think about tag teams.
You don't
too
think about
much.
most people don't.
No,
Yeah,
I really don't.
most people don't.
I know I'm gonna be mad at myself because I'm gonna leave.
You're gonna come
I'm
back
gonna
here
go-
and think like, damn,
I'm
I
gonna go
should've
home
mentioned.
and be like, oh, I can't believe I didn't say them.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go real tag teams because like there was like a lot of like makeshift tag teams. You know what
Like
I'm talking about?
the rock
like
and sock
Kane,
the rock and sock connection.
yeah, like Kane and X Pac, like
Mm-hmm.
different ones like that. Man, let's start off with. I mean, Road Dogg and Billy Gunn, like
Oh well.
this is solid.
Yeah, I forgot
solid
about
tag
them.
team.
Yeah, for sure.
I guess from back in the day, the demolition. Or no, I was saying, I was thinking Smashing Axe. Who am I thinking of? No, why did I say demolition? I was thinking of the Legion of Doom.
Oh yeah, LOD. Yeah,
Hawk
yeah,
and
the Road
Animal.
Warriors.
Yeah,
Hawk and Animal.
They were a great
That's
tag.
that's tops for me.
Yeah,
They're my favorite.
they?
They're my favorite. Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
that's a great tag team.
Yeah.
Um,
I think that was their finisher, the demolition or something like that. What was their finisher?
oh yeah, it's
Yeah, they put them on top.
yeah,
of
because I know like back in the day when me and Jeff used to wrestle and have like people come over and have matches.
do
and,
finishers.
Yeah. The Outsiders, man. Scott
Yeah.
Hall and Kevin Nash.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Definitely. Let me think. So it's got to be from that 98, 99 period.
Attitude Era.
Yeah, the Attitude Era was the best. So I'm trying to think of the best tag teams during that time. I mean, the Dudley Boys are always a great tag team.
Yeah, ECW. Me and one of
Yeah.
my coworkers was talking about ECW. How crazy they
ECW
were.
was like so ahead of its time.
Yeah,
really.
hell yeah.
Because if you think about it, like the Attitude Era is pretty much
Based around what ECW was doing.
yeah,
Like even the tables, ladders, and chair matches and all that stuff. Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
Who are some other good tag teams though? I'm trying to think.
The Bushwhackers.
I was thinking of them, the
The
Bushwhackers.
Bushwhackers were crazy. The Steiner brothers.
Yeah, Steiner Brothers,
Harlem Heat.
Harlem Heat.
Yeah.
Wait, who was I just thinking of? Farouk and Bradshaw.
Yeah.
They went by
yeah,
some
yeah. I forget what they were.
few different names. It's
Yeah.
like,
I forgot they were a tag team. Yeah.
yeah,
The Four Horsemen, even though they were a foursome, but they were
yeah.
Arn Anderson and Ric Flair go crazy.
That's a really good question. It's just got me thinking here about some great tag teams. I mean, I feel like we covered
We covered them all
We didn't cover them
at
all.
some
but-
at some capacity.
Yeah. Anyone else?
I think
coming to mind for you?
Kane and Undertaker were like one of those makeshift ones you were talking
Yeah,
about.
that's why I can't even
Put them in there really.
really consider that.
A true tag team.
Yeah. Trying to go to my song right now to see if I who all I referenced.
Yeah.
in it to
You
see.
probably ain't had no tag teams.
Nah, I don't. I really don't. I don't think I did. Yeah.
Now you gonna have to go back and get some tag teams in there.
I mean, the Hardy Boys were cool too.
The Hardy Boys were
Matt and
fire.
Jeff.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're up there for sure.
I think I met one of them here in Uniontown.
Really?
Yeah.
What are they doing here? Just like a local match?
No, they had a premiere for a wrestling movie at the State Theater,
Okay.
and that night I met I can't remember. I want to say it was Matt Hardy, Shane Douglas, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and Piper.
Roddy
Roddy
Piper. That's
yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
Who's like he's one of the best, man.
Yeah, he's a legend.
Yeah.
He's one of the first ones to cross over in the movies too. Like,
Yeah.
He's one of the first of his kind.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah, no doubt. So we got your top five tag teams. I think we did
Kind
your
of.
top five wrestlers last time you were here, so I'm not going to do that. To transition, this is going to be a crazy one. Give me your top five Soprano villains.
Number 1, Richie April, definitely.
I was watching that episode. I texted you earlier to Richie April.
Yeah,
episode,
I just wish she would have lasted longer. He was only in season 2.
Yeah.
Like, man, but the impact he made, like he just had it, man. Richie April.
He was a jerk, man. I ain't like Richie.
You didn't like him?
No, he was an asshole.
But that's the idea.
That's
Like,
what I'm saying. He always going against the grain. Like you're
that's-
not even following
Yeah.
the law, man. You got to follow the code, bro. He was an asshole.
Richie, Phil Leotardo, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
Um, Ralphie Cifaretto.
Oh, Ralphie, yeah, Ralphie's a
Yeah,
big one.
he
Yeah,
was a great villain. Johnny Sack.
yeah. That's crazy that Johnny Sack ended up becoming a villain. Hopefully, it's no spoilers. If y'all ain't seen Sopranos by now, then
Yeah,
goddamn,
you need to.
yeah, you need to.
There's so many misconceptions. I was just talking with a friend earlier, and he was like, I'm not really into like mob stuff. Like people need to understand that
It
it's
was
more
great
about like
writing.
the family aspect,
Yeah.
comedy. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's so many other elements. People just think like, oh, it's gonna be just this mob of
Just a
just
whole bunch
straight
of hits.
killing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like and it's
No,
not,
it
man.
was really great writing behind The
Yeah,
Sopranos. Like, and I was thinking about that this morning when I was watching it. Just like you said, the comedy, just how witty they were
yeah,
whenever they were talking about some of the things they were talking about. It's a lot of double entendres
yeah,
in the show, and I guess that's probably why it's so big in hip hop, right? Because
right.
they do a lot of wordplay
Yeah,
in The
of course.
Sopranos, and it's intelligent humor too, right? It's not
Yeah.
just you got to have a little certain level of intelligence
Yep.
to really appreciate it.
Definitely.
But it's not over the top with that as well. So
Yeah.
so who'd you say? You said did you give us 4?
Yeah, I gave 4.
Richie,
we gave
Ralphie,
Richie, Ralphie, Johnny Sack,
Phil,
and
Johnny
Ralph.
Johnny Sachs. Yeah, that's 4.
4. Hmm.
Know who the number 1 villain was, and you missed him
Oh, wait. The number missed him.
or her.
I was gonna say Livia. Livia, like his mother, is the number one.
Yes, the number one
Number one
villain.
villain.
Isn't that crazy? That dynamic between them, because I think because she was really the pulling all the strings behind the whole everything, like
Yeah,
all of
she
his
was-
problems.
She was conniving, and she passed it on to Janice too. Like
Yeah.
she was pretty much the same way.
Yeah, I got a buddy at work who always jokes that he's like, every female grows up to be their mother eventually.
Yeah.
I was like, that can't be true, man. That's not. But I've found it to be very true in my experiences.
Yeah, that's crazy. I think that what do they say? Like you always. Someone was saying like you find like a woman, like based off the relationship
Oh, that you have
had
with your mother. Yeah, and vice versa.
Yeah.
They say women find relationships based off of the relationship they had with their father.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I mean, I think it lays down a groundwork certainly for what you perceive to be norms.
Yeah.
Both domestically and otherwise. This is what you perceive to be as norms because this is what
Absolutely.
you see in your household. So of course,
100%.
it's going to attract you to a person who provides you that familiar feeling of what you've known growing up.
Yeah.
So I mean, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So if you know a little like chaos, it like
That's
whenever
normal to
whenever
you.
there is some like it
And you-
almost gives you a sense of comfort in a weird way.
No, 100%. And you'll have people who like. You have a female be like, no, you're too nice. I don't want that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
or vice versa. Like that'd be like really what happens because that's what they're familiar with. So no, I think I can agree with that. I think you are somehow attracted to
Yeah,
those things you see coming up.
for sure.
So yeah, we touched on the Sopranos, and that's how you and Webb came to be familiar in the first place, right?
Yeah,
For your
because
love of The Sopranos.
I was really into the show at the time, and I learned about Sopranos Con in New Jersey that they had like a big convention
Yeah.
where a lot of former a lot of the former cast
Cast,
came
yeah.
and everything, and they had all kind of like little cool activities and stuff there. And I just happened to be on the page and saw Webby was a guest at the first one.
Oh, fire!
So I knew of him, of his name, but I was not familiar with any of his music.
Yeah,
So from that, I'm like, oh, he's a big fan. Like it would be cool to get a featured artist on this song. So
because you were doing a song with a soprano theme.
yeah, I just thought it'd be really cool to, I'm sitting here watching the show every day. Like let me make like a little, just fun little song with all show references and that all the diehards would really love and appreciate. And I think they definitely have.
Yeah, and have you guys bonded over that? You and Webb, like being on the road?
100%. And I know I posted about this already. I was kind of nervous going into this because I haven't watched for quite some time. And I'm like, I'm not the most confident right now.
You
And
was a
we
little rusty on your Sopranos
yeah,
knowledge?
yeah, I was. And we had Sopranos trivia, and
With who?
Webby. I mean, Webby's the one that definitely wanted to do it, and I get Quake Matthews is a big Sopranos guy too. So
Okay.
it was us three, and man, I didn't fare too well, but I told him I'll be back. I'll be back.
And you was
But they,
you were trading like some Soprano memorabilia, right?
what's that?
You and Webb was trading back and forth who had the best.
Oh yeah, we'd always wear some Soprano shirts
Yeah.
for the show each night. So, but yeah, he has so much memorabilia. It's just it's incredible.
He's got to become friends with some of the cast, right?
Yeah, yeah. We actually talked about. I don't know if I'm gonna go down next week at all, but we had discussed it that Vincent Pastore, who plays Big Pussy on the show,
Yep.
he has a band, and they're playing in Connecticut, and he's friends with him. He was actually, I don't know. Do you know the song Don Corleone by Webby?
Yeah. Yep.
I think Vincent Pastore does either
Does the intro?
or
Yeah.
maybe an outro too.
Yeah.
And yeah, Webby's really cool with him, and so is his dad. So we talked about maybe me coming down and us going to check him out.
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
You got to meet some of those. You got to meet some of those guys as
Yeah.
well, right? Going to those different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I met. Yeah, I actually met him briefly, and then Michael. Said Michael Imperioli, and who plays Christopher Moltisanti,
Yeah.
and Bobby Bacala, who is Steve Sharipa, I think his name is.
Okay.
I got to meet those three, and then of course I've got a little. Somewhat of a friendship with Joe Ganascoli, who plays Vito.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So he, when I released Juiced Up, it wasn't too much longer after he shared the song on all his socials, and he actually asked if I would make like a specific video and throw some of his clips in there, which I did.
He had some suggestions for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he did. So that was really cool.
You know, that's dope. So it's safe to say that like hip hop's been a vehicle for you to do a lot of different things, meet a lot of cool different individuals who you might not have had a chance to even encounter being from small town USA, right?
Yeah, sure.
You probably couldn't even fathom at some point in your life that this would be the case. And you've even gotten to do songs with artists who you were fans of
Yeah.
growing up and listening to. And one of the songs I can think of is the one with the game, Right on Time, right?
Yeah, yeah. I would put the game in my top 5, man.
Yeah.
Like I know a lot of people wouldn't, but I think it's more of like because they don't like a lot of his antics and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I understand deters them a little bit. But if you're just talking about straight skill set, lyricist, storyteller, great bodies of work.
Yeah.
Even outside of like, because I know a lot of people like to just say like, well, that's because 50 wrote how many of them
Outside
songs in the
GG and
documentary.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah, based just outside the documentary, like the Doctor's Advocate was great. I thought LAX was really good. He dropped several great bodies of work.
Like his more recent stuff. Have you been tuned in?
Yeah, I think the last album I wasn't too crazy about, but I mean I could always. I think the album before that I really liked. I can't remember.
1992.
Born to Rap.
Okay,
it was
Born to
called.
Rap was really
Born to
good,
Rap.
yeah.
Like yeah, man, he just.
That's when I found out who killed Tupac off the Born to Rap album.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I did a deep dive after
Yeah.
after that game verse.
Yeah.
He said Baby Lane killed Tupac and some niggas killed Baby Lane, and I'm
Yeah.
like, damn, he said that casually, like that was just a
Yeah.
natural born fact. So I started
You
doing
weren't
all
aware
this.
of that? You didn't know that?
I mean, you heard the rumors because
Yeah.
of the fight at the MGM.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can never really
I guess maybe like having someone like credible like him come
Well,
out and
that's
just say it.
after he said it, and he said it so casually, like it was just
Yeah,
common knowledge. Which
Yeah.
come to find out, if you're from the LA area, it is common
Yeah.
knowledge. It's not a secret. But I started doing a deep dive into it after I heard him say it. I'm like, damn, is this like just everybody knows this a thing? And apparently everybody does know this is just what happened because Baby Lane was a real live gangster.
Yeah.
And it was unfortunate that it went down like that because we lost
Yeah.
a great artist and human being because of some nonsense.
For sure, that's my favorite hip hop artist of all time,
Yeah,
Tupac, for sure. So
yeah.
yeah, I got a little shrine of him at my house.
Do you?
I mean, his music's always meant so much to me. He's like one of those artists for me that when I start listening to him, like that's all I can listen to for a while.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like this is just takes you to another place. Like feels
It's
like
so
it's
good.
on.
I gotta stay in this moment.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, for sure. No, I definitely get that, and like I said, it's unfortunate that he lost his life in that
yeah,
way.
definitely.
And it shouldn't have happened in that way. It's unfortunate he didn't have the right people around him
Yeah,
to guide him in that
for
time
sure.
and give him better advice as to how to approach things.
Hmm.
And with that being said, how important is it for you to have the right people around you, advising you on the right things to do? Because it is a tough road to navigate
Yeah,
in music, right? Because it's all unfamiliar, and there's really no traditional, um, there's no traditional road to how to make it. I always say make it, Will,
hmm,
but there's no traditional road on what success is and how to achieve success in music. So how important is it to you to surround yourself with the right mentors, the right
yeah,
friends, and things like that to help you in succeeding on your mission?
yeah. That's definitely important from. I mean, from all aspects. Like you said, from having friends around. I keep a really small small group of friends. I mean, really. I mean, it's like you're like one of the only people I hang out with, like on a somewhat consistent basis, and some of my best friends, like Jerome, it's in Philadelphia. So I just keep a small group, and we can talk to each other on every level. You know what I mean? Not just music. So that's always been important to me to not get caught up with the wrong crowd and find myself in a situation. It's like,
Yeah,
damn, I shouldn't even have been here
I
to
shouldn't even been
been
here
here
to
to
begin
begin
with.
with.
Yeah,
So like definitely, of course, that came with being a father too. Is
yeah.
like I'm definitely a lot more conscious of that now. To where who I choose to spend my time
Time
with.
with, yeah. No, it's crazy. What parenthood can do for time because you start to realize like, damn, like I'm wasting time here when I could be with my kid, giving
Hmm.
them something, whether it's jewels, dropping knowledge on them, or
Yeah.
just seeing them achieve different milestones. Like it's a lot of time you start really recognizing like time's precious. Like, and I need to be careful of how I spend this shit
Yeah.
because it don't come back. I always quote it. I'm sure if you've seen this before, you probably heard me say it, but Samuel L. Jackson said in the movie Fresh, anything lost can be gained again except for time.
Yeah.
And that shit was so powerful to me that I quote it often because it's true. Like
Yeah.
I've lost plenty of things in my lifetime, materialistic wise, and I've got it back twice over.
hundred
But that
percent.
time, it
Yeah.
ain't coming back. It don't matter how you twist it or turn it.
Yeah, I think, I think about that a lot too. Like, and I think a lot of like foolish decisions I made when I was younger. But
Right.
like the thing that like I regret most is all the time that I gave it,
All the time that's
that I
wasted. Yeah.
that I invested in it when I could have been doing something
Even more
more
so than the money that's
productive.
invested in it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, for
The
sure.
time hurts even more.
Yeah, the time.
So you done a song with the game. Speaking of investments, right? You got songs with Jewels and Jim Jones.
Yeah.
Of course, the Wiz album, the Webby tracks. Um, what is it that you look for whenever you're doing these features with artists? What is it that you're searching for? What is it that's important for you getting these features? What about an artist attracts you to say I want to do a feature with so and so?
I would say, first off, me just having a lot of respect and admiration for the artist in general.
Yeah,
Because if you notice the features I do, like I don't go for, I don't go to get features for like who's hot right now.
right.
Like I'm not, because if it was about that, I'd obviously go for somebody like more successful right now. Like for me, it's really about the art first.
Yeah,
So, like I said, me having respect and admiration for that particular artist, and then also what they can bring to the song themselves.
yeah,
Like because most of these times, when I decide I want a featured artist on a song, like I just think of who, usually when I'm writing something, someone else comes to mind. Like, this person would be
cool
great.
to have on here.
Yeah, like and just really add a lot to it, and that's pretty much how my features of it. Even the song with Jim and Joel's, like off my upcoming album, it was a song about just regaining confidence and feeling good about yourself again. And like I thought to myself, like who better in hip hop? Like when you're feeling good about yourself, like you're feeling fly, whatever. Like you know, who better to go with that really brings that out than Dipset?
Yeah.
So that's how that came about.
Hell yeah. So we got the project with those guys. You said you got some exclusive music for us tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you
We'll
got?
go
What
with
you got for us?
we'll go with since we were talking about the wrestling track,
Yeah.
we'll go with like a straight wrestling jam I have coming out hopefully within the next month or two called Raw vs Nitro with myself, Annoyed. That's the two verses that are laid on it already.
Yeah.
But we're also gonna have yourself.
Yeah.
Is Marley on there?
That's fire.
And Smoke Dizza
That's
as
fire.
well. So
Yeah.
just straight wrestling references from that time period. So Big Germ on the beat.
That's fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get into that. What's it called?
It's called Raw vs Nitro.
Raw versus Nitro. This is just a you and Annoyed verse.
Yeah.
You and Annoyed talk some wrestling talk.
Oh yeah. He actually found a spot in London that had like incredible like shirts, like a thrift shop kind of.
Yeah.
With just like random stuff for cheap. I'm so disappointed I didn't get to stop.
You didn't get to grab nothing?
No. He did though. I think he got like a Rey Mysterio shirt.
He loves Rey Mysterio.
Yeah. Alrighty. Here we go. Is it playing? Or will we hear it too?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Let me see. Yeah. Dude. Little technical difficulties. We're on deck now.
Hey yo, this is just two.
I'm trying to name the references.
It's the big
Val Venus.
Come aboard the Hope train,
The Godfather.
What does everybody want? Head to see
Al Snow. D-Lo Brown.
With the HD80, it was me all along, despite any disguise. I amassed different faces for the good of mankind. Now I'm DDP shining in the ministry of darkness. Get lumped, playing buff like you pop a pump of Marcus. It's the Ayatollah of rock and roller with the game locked. Like it's Kennedine, got a hold of early bird. Gets the worm, my demeanor too cool. If they test this lethal weapon out for blood like the brood. Ride the beat like when Chavo rode Pepe around. It's been a long road, dog. Let me simply break it down. Made it through hellfire and the brimstone burn. So like Paul, bear witness to the way that I earn. Get it?
Little double entendre in there. All bear
Top tier
witness
raps
to the way
only.
that I earn.
Gonna need to show some credentials over here, baby.
Yeah, I let the rest watch. I'm like Tupac, mixed with X-Pop. Put you in a coffin, take you out, then rebox. Like a pair of S-dots. Hold up, wait a minute, but I kept watch. Apply pressure like I did a jet wash. You know how the team go now. When I speak so proud, you already know my stilo clown. It ain't that deep, then why they saying he profound? Make these rappers shake their head like they D-Lo Brown. You feel a sting when I pop y'all. Slice you with the edge of the razor like I was Scott Hall. Davey Boy Smith sick on him like British Bulldog. See me shake, rattle, and roll. I'm on a roll, dog. Knock out and doze off. I love it when you call me Big Papa. Pump on me like I'm Scott Steiner. They love me from the US all the way to China. The whole mankind know I'ma set a reminder. Dope lyric provider, Annoyed. Yeah. You know how I do, man. I'm jumping off the top ropes with this, man. Frog splashing off the turnbuckle and all that, man. We doing it like that.
Hell yeah. Yeah, we're definitely looking forward to that one. And you said that's going on a new project?
No, that's just gonna be just a single.
Okay. All right, for sure. Yeah, hell yeah. Annoyed came on there and ripped that one time, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, hell yeah. Shout out to Annoyed for that. So it's unfortunate because you are a huge wrestling fan. I remember we went down to Atlanta. We were shooting for
I-376 video.
I-376
Yeah.
video, and we were supposed to link with Scott Hall.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were supposed to link with Scott Hall, and unfortunately, he had some personal issues going on at the time.
Yeah. He canceled on me the morning of when we were already in Atlanta.
Yeah.
But I had intended to have this really cool scene with him in the video where like I'm just like walking through the suitcase and like bump into him and we have like a little tussle.
Yeah.
And then I think the plan was, which the suitcase never got opened in the video, but the plan was me to open up the suitcase and I was gonna show that it was it said NWO. Like I like,
nice.
like
Yeah.
I was on the team. We were on the same team.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that
R.I.P. Scott Hall,
yeah.
man.
Then he passed away.
My favorite
yeah.
wrestler ever.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. He passed away not too long after that, so it was never able to
Yeah.
materialize. Which would have been a great moment, right?
Yeah, definitely.
To have that interaction with him. So you did the tour in Canada. Now you're coming back, and we're doing Hard Rock Cafe.
Yeah.
You're headlining the show at Hard Rock Cafe. How did that come about? What made you decide to
I
bring
just
that? Or
I just thought it was, it's time, man. It's just time. I've done so many shows opening for bigger artists, and I feel like I've worked up enough of a fan base to this point to where it's like it's time to start testing the waters and doing some of my own shows.
Yeah,
of course,
yeah.
I want to keep getting on shows with bigger artists to expand and get looks, of course, from their fan bases, but also like I want to do some headlining shows as well. So I think it's a good time to do so, and it's a good venue to do so too, because
Yeah.
I've done a good many shows there, and
Right.
usually see some familiar faces at them. So yeah, I think it'll be a really good opportunity.
Yeah, hell yeah. No, I'm looking forward to seeing you there. Do you have a lineup yet, or is it still all in the works?
It's still in the works. Of course, I got you locked in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we definitely. I actually think I have every spot locked up except for one at the moment.
Okay.
So it's almost pretty much all done. Gonna bring my guy Dave Zombie in to host it.
Oh, that's fire. Yeah,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
We do got Sturgis coming in from Connecticut.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, might even have haven't confirmed anything yet, but might even have Smooth come in and drum for me that evening. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to show too just how much I've grown as a performer.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, shout out to the gang, man. It's gonna be
yeah.
a lot of fun putting that all together. Shout out JP. What's up, bro?
Shout out
Yeah.
JP.
Yeah, we still rocking, man.
Yes, sir.
A lot of milestones and more to come.
Appreciate
without a
that,
doubt.
man. Thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, so you got the show at the Hard Rock. What day is that?
That is Wednesday, August 7th.
Very dope.
Yeah.
They got tickets available yet, or?
Not yet. Probably within the next few weeks. Once I confirm the lineup and everything, we're gonna
They can check the website for
drop.
those as well.
Yeah, they'll be available on Eventbrite.com, and there will be some physical tickets as well if you want to purchase those.
And you have the website up now, so they'll be able to get the link.
Yeah.
for tickets.
I'll drop that on my tour page and can go right there either from my site or just go to Eventbrite.com and they'll be available.
Hell yeah. So yeah, we got that going. And what about the album? I know you talked about a few singles. What's the
Yeah.
next stuff that we can expect coming up from you as far as music is concerned?
I mean, I still got the album. I have one song left to finish, so I want to get that done soon. I'm waiting. I've been waiting on Sam Brooks. He plays piano on it, so he's been pretty tied up at the moment.
Sure.
So I want to get that song knocked out, and then, man, just like really see like from shopping the album to just to really get with some people You know, like Fury would be one of them. Like someone and other people of his caliber to see what's going to be the most beneficial way to go about dropping it.
Actually releasing it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just don't want to, you know, just release it for the sake of releasing it.
Yeah,
It's,
just have it be a flash of the
yeah,
pan.
it's really important to me that there's, I've got a nice plan behind it. And I know it's been a long time. I've been saying for a long time this album is coming, but like, but I really do think it will be coming this year for sure.
Hell
So,
yeah.
and in the meantime, I'm not gonna, you know, have like these big gaps anymore musically. I'm just gonna start releasing more consistent music. I don't want to overdo it though. I've always been a more quality than quantity guy.
Quantity, yeah.
Even though the times sort of call for, seems like they call for quantity for you to like constantly just keep dropping. And I'm just like, no, I really want you to sit with.
You want it to be more impactful.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like not just something that comes and goes. Like, and then people are like, oh, what's next? What's next? Like,
Right.
Like no.
No, I get that. I think quality is still important, despite the fact we are in a microwave generation where everybody wants everything
Yeah.
instantaneously. I think we saw that really play itself out in that whole Drake and Kendrick thing. The way that they kept feeling the need to drop back
Yeah.
to back on tracks, just how important quantity is. And it seemed like whoever struck last was the one that was winning at
Right.
the time, right?
Yeah.
Just because we're in that phase
Yeah.
of music where it's just so mass marketed and there's so much what's the word I'm looking for? There's so much oversaturation
Yeah.
with so many artists and so much music. So people are always, I mean, and just in general, like we don't even have commercials anymore.
Yeah. Right.
In most things, so people just want everything right
Yeah,
away.
right
They don't
away.
want to wait for it. So
I mean, I do understand to a degree, like why, like, you know, a lot of bigger artists will have a lot of releases because it's like, oh, if you know, like you're gonna get X amount of streams from each release, like each time you drop something, you're putting money in your pocket, you know.
Yeah.
So I get that
yeah,
from that perspective, but yeah, I guess I'm like an old school guy in that regard. Like I really like to sit with music for a while that I enjoy.
yeah.
So
Do you still find yourself doing that to this day? Like,
oh
are you
yeah,
still like that? You sit on albums when they're released?
yeah. I mean, well, yeah, and I'm still stuck on a lot of like the classic albums that had a great impact on me. So
Right.
like I'm still constantly revisiting those.
Yeah.
So
No, for sure. Well, we're going to be looking forward to all of that stuff, the albums, the single. What can we look out for outside of the show? What can we look for music wise?
music wise, three singles coming up. I'm not exactly sure which order they're gonna be in, but I got a song coming, like I mentioned, with Rob Markman.
Yeah.
I got a song coming with Quake Matthews, and then I got this wrestling jam coming with Annoyed, Yourself, and Smoke Dizza. So
Yeah.
definitely some new music on the horizon. And other than that, you know, I'm just continuing to try to get show opportunities. I've got some things in the works right now, but I don't want to speak on them too soon
Yeah.
in case they, you know, fall through or anything.
Of course, yeah.
But like, man, I'm constantly working and trying to, you know, figure out how can I
What's the next step?
take this, you know, a step further, a little bit at a time. So that's the plan, is just keep progressing.
Yeah, hell yeah. We'll be tuned into all of it. And anybody that's looking to work with you, rather it be through production, if somebody wants to book you for a show or a feature, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
I would say IG still, or you can send me an email at seanskimusic.com. Yeah, for the month, when it comes to features, for the month of June, I'm doing features for $500. So,
Dope.
you know,
Yeah.
I think it's a steal if you ask me, like, because after I dropped some more material and started unveiling some of these bigger moves I'm making, like I would at least probably double that price, because, you know, just off of how much I've invested myself
Right.
and everything and all the time and effort I put into this. And it goes back to, like I said, about when it comes to features, like a big part of it too is where do you see the featured artist going?
Right.
So back when I did the song with Wiz Khalifa and paid him $2,000, it's like I saw, like, man, you know, of course, I could have never imagined how that
Oh,
big he
yeah.
would get. But
That's
like
probably $1 million feature today.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So like I saw his star potential back then, and you know that feature still like whatever. It's a talking point.
Yeah.
Like, and if sometimes the talking point might get you
Might
an
get your foot in the
opportunity or
door.
get your foot in the door with
Yeah.
somebody you might not have otherwise. It's like, oh man, like you did a song with him, like, and now I might be willing to check you out, see what you got going on
Right.
because you had that relationship, collaboration, or whatever. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so man, now's the time if anybody wants to
Yeah, if you're looking to work,
lock in a song together, man.
make sure you reach out.
Let's
for sure.
do it.
Yeah. Well, hell yeah, man. You know, I'm going to be here for all the things upcoming. And if you want to come back and let us know about whatever you got going on, you know,
Yeah.
you're welcome here to the world's dopest
Appreciate
podcast, the Marley State of Mind podcast. Down here at a Bunch of Bull Studios, as per usual, the GOAT Layer. What up, Brody? Well, hey, you know, you're always welcome, my guy.
Appreciate it, man. Definitely be back. Thank you for having me.
Till next time, we'll see y'all.